Honourable members, I had a great meeting yesterday with the House leaders. It was one of the topics that came out, which was really very engaging discussion, was with respect to the use of preambles in the House. I also had discussions with other members. So I urge all of you again to go back to the standing orders and be conscious of the way you may or may not be applying the intent of that standing order. The Minister of Finance.
Average our oil price from 5 private sector companies. That is the same way we've been doing it in this province for years, Mr. Speaker. We have the same oil forecast as Saskatchewan does. If you take a look at their oil forecast, it's the same as ours. Mr. Speaker, full-time employment in this province is raised for the 3rd straight month. Mr. Speaker, rigs drilling are up in this province. There's economic good things happening across this province as opposed to what's been said over there.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Southeast.
As a paramedic, I've attended motor vehicle accidents where one person in the vehicle has died and the other passengers seem fine. Common sense would dictate that if one person is dead in the vehicle, that the mechanism of injury is lethal and others may be hurt. In fact, it's a duty of care to do everything in my power to get those patients to a safe place so that to ensure that they're not harmed beyond what I can see. Minister, as a nurse, you understand duty of care and mechanism of injury. Yet there's still children in the home where Serenity was raped and starved. Doesn't common sense tell you that the other vulnerable children in that home should be removed based on what happened to Serenity?
Honourable Minister of Children's Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, absolutely understand the member's frustration. It is a very complex situation. But Mr. Speaker, what I can say is that we have been and we continue to monitor the situation, and if there were ever concerns about the safety of any young person, we would apprehend them immediately. And Mr. Speaker, the courts don't let us go in and apprehend children without evidence of abuse to that specific child. Mr. Speaker, that is the law. But Mr. Speaker, I take the safety of those children very seriously and will absolutely say that we continue to monitor the situation.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. First supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, the children at potential risk in this home deserve more than empty promises and key messages from the minister. Minister, given that as a nurse, if you came across a child that was being abused, you would have a duty of care to report it. Having worked with nurses, there is no way a nurse would abandon children who lived in the same home where a child was raped. And given the fact that children are regularly removed from these circumstances until full investigation has been conducted, Minister, you have the authority, the duty of care to get these children to safety today. Why are you choosing to leave them in potential harm?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say absolutely without doubt that the safety of those children and all children in this province are my primary focus, and that I'm doing everything in my power to ensure their safety. Mr. Speaker, again, I understand the frustration with the lack of information in a complex situation. However, Mr. Speaker, I will say that the safety of the children is being monitored. And Mr. Speaker, if there were concerns about the safety of any young person, we would apprehend them immediately. Mr. Speaker, again, everything in our power is being done to ensure the safety.
Honourable Member, I urge you with respect to the preamble as well. Please proceed with your second supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given that this government claims to be champions for sexual assault survivors, yet they're sitting on their hands while children may be in harm's way as we speak, Minister, respectfully, what are you thinking? Given that these children may have witnessed the sexual abuse, starvation, and murder of Serenity, do you honestly think that they even dare speak out about what's happening to them, as they might receive the same fate as Serenity? They will never speak until they know that they will be safe. Minister, will you do your job, begin to advocate for these kids, and put them in a safe place?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I would say to my fellow healthcare provider in the legislature that oftentimes there are many details about situations that we cannot disclose, of which provides understanding of a complex situation. So, Mr. Speaker, I would say I understand the member's frustration. However, I absolutely would assure all members of this House and all Albertans that we are doing everything in our power to keep those children safe, because keeping vulnerable children safe is our key priority, and we will continue to ensure that we are doing everything to make that happen.
The honourable member for Fort McMurray Wood, Buffalo.